Week 14 of the NFL is officially in the books, and now it's time to predict every Week 15 game in the NFL. So before we jump into it, we have something we've been doing for the past couple of weeks. We're going to continue it throughout the entire season, which is we want you guys watching this video to comment down below your bold prediction for Week 15 coming up. We just had our bold predictions for Week 14, and whatever the best prediction we have, we're going to pin it and then shout it out on the next episode. So let's look back at our Week 14 video. We had a bunch of comments, and all of them were shockingly close, but all wrong, if that makes sense. Like, none of the actual winner picks were correct, but some of them were close. So I picked the closest one. Shout out MB Mackin 555 for saying the Jets upset the Dolphins 20-17. Now, obviously, the Dolphins won in overtime, but out of all these predictions, this was the closest because it went into overtime. All these other games were like the Giants beat the Saints, or the Jags-Titans will be, I guess I'm shouting out comments, but Jags-Titans will be a high-scoring game. So not as close as those. I think this was the closest just because the Jets actually almost won this game. But yeah, shout out MB Mackin 555 for your comments. So if you guys want to get on the next episode, hopefully you can get a close prediction right. You can comment down below on this one. But thank you for commenting, guys. We appreciate it. And let's move on to our Week 15 slate, the Thursday night football game. This is a big one. Loser leaves town, as they say. I think whoever loses this one, their season is over. It's Rams 49ers in San Francisco. Another good Thursday night matchup. We've been having good ones this year, finally. And man, this is very interesting because the Rams are coming off of a big high, beating a Bills team, putting up 44 points. Now, as fun as the game was, it was a shootout, high scoring, whatever. Obviously, they still give up 42 points and 6 touchdowns to Josh Allen. So if there's something to look at for the Rams and be afraid of, it's their defense. Because Brock Purdy just came out of that Bears game with 390, not Brock Purdy, but the 49ers offense came out of halftime with 391 yards, which I think is up there for one of the most of all time in a single half, which is crazy. So kind of looking at that matchup, 49ers offense versus Rams defense. Now, the 49ers just have a crap ton of injuries, and luckily they're at home. I don't know how much that helps these days, honestly. You know, everybody's like, oh, it's a home field advantage. I don't feel like Santa Clara is really much of a home field advantage. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's definitely more rowdy than SoFi, but I don't know. I think this game will definitely be close. I'm personally rooting for the Rams. I hope the Rams make a push for the playoffs. I think the Seahawks are one and done, if I'm being completely honest. I think the Rams could actually make some noise come playoff time, and like Rams-Vikings, that would be a phenomenal wild card game. So with that being said, I'm going to pick the Rams, and I think it's going to be super close, and I think the Rams are going to win it off of a Cooper Kupp touchdown in the final 2 minutes of the game, 24-20. All right, let's go to the 1 o'clock slates. This starts the first week again with no buys, so there's going to be a lot of games. Saints-Commanders. Look, Commanders fans, like, I know you're going in confident, and you should win this game, but the Saints really have nothing to lose at this point, so I wouldn't actually be shocked if this was close. I'm not going to pick it as a close game, but just be weary. The Saints are just such a weird team to me this year, and I like the Commanders, though. I think they have to absolutely win this game. I don't care if they're 8-5. They still got to win. Just don't make it a trap game. So Commanders come out of this one 28-14. Okay, another random Chiefs 1 o'clock matchup. We love those here as a Chiefs fan. But the Chiefs head to Cleveland. Chiefs-Browns. The Browns are wearing their all white with their white helmet, alternate uniforms, which means the Chiefs have to wear their red in Cleveland. I don't like that, guys. Anyways, I shouldn't get into this. I like aesthetically pleasing matchups, especially teams that don't play each other every year. It needs to look good, but whatever. This could totally be an upset. I'm not going to pick it just because the Chiefs have been finding ways to voodoo their way out of every single game this year, and I'll just keep riding on that train. But yeah, the Chiefs are barely going to sneak this one out 20-17 because why not? Why would it be anything other than that this season? Bengals Titans. I think the Bengals will just get one because they're purely just more talented. This will probably be like similar to the Raiders game they had earlier this year, where even though their season sucks this year and their defense sucks, it's the Titans. Like, the Bengals just have to win this game. So I'll pick the Bengals to win it 38-20. And then, okay, this game's actually pretty decent. Another gotta win or go home game for one of these teams. It's Dolphins-Texans in Houston. And I think this is the spot where we say goodbye to the Dolphins this season, unfortunately. And it's not because I don't like the Dolphins. Actually, Tua might get the record for completion percentage in a single season. He might beat Drew Brees' 74.4% completion. He's got 74.5 right now. So that's a bright spot for Tua. He's actually looked pretty solid after his concussion so far this year. But overall, the Texans at home, I just think they need this one, especially if the Colts go out and upset the Broncos. Like, they're kind of breathing down the Texans' neck a little bit. So it'll be close. It'll for sure be close, and the Texans are just going to eke this one out 23-20. Okay, shout out this game for a specific reason. It's Giants-Ravens at MetLife. And the reason why I sound so uppity right now is because we got a little bit of an announcement. And if anybody is in the New Jersey area that listens to this podcast, we're going to be at the tailgate. We're going to bring our camera. We're going to shoot a little bit of a podcast. We're going to go out and interact with fans. You know, we just thought it'd be a fun idea to do. Actually go out there during a game. I already went to the Chiefs-Panthers game, but this is going to be me and Al and a few of our friends. And once we're at the parking lot on game day, we're also going to post on our social media, so keep updated with that at First and Gold on Instagram and TikTok. We're going to post our exact location, so if anybody really is at the game, tailgating, whatever, if you guys want to come up, say hi, be on the podcast, you know, whatever it is. If you guys, you know, come up to us and say you were here from the YouTube video, you know, maybe you'll get a free candy cane or something, you know, just, you know, shout that out a little bit. Anyways, it should be a lot of fun. So yeah, we're going to be there. Yeah, hopefully you guys come out and say hi. Anyways, Giants-Ravens itself at MetLife. This should be an easy win for the Ravens. I don't expect anything less. The Giants are probably the worst team in the NFL. So I'm going to pick the Ravens to win this one 34-7. Jets-Jaguars. I mean, the Jaguars just came off of a win. This is my who cares game of the week, by the way. Just why? Why? Don't put this on Red Zone. Don't even put the touchdowns on Red Zone. I know that's like a cardinal sin for Red Zone, but I don't even care. I don't care. I'll pick the Jets to win it, surprisingly. 23-20. I don't know. Cowboys-Panthers in Carolina. Kind of weird. I don't know what the line is for this game, so I'm going to pick the Panthers, assuming that they actually are favored because they've been better lately. So, you know, maybe this is my quiet upset of the week if the Cowboys actually are favored, especially if they beat the Bengals tonight on Monday Night Football. But, look, I just like the Panthers better right now. I think they need, like, I know their draft capital is important, but I think they need one nice win with Bryce Young playing like this just to end off the season. And this could be the opportunity at home against a bad Cowboys defense. So let's pick them. Let's pick the Panthers to win this one 24-21. All right, this is weird. We have 5 425 games. We usually have a couple 405 games. But every game, they just decide to put it in, like, the America's game slot. So there might be an awkward, like, 10-minute period of Red Zone where there's no game. Sometimes that happens. But here we go. Let's jump into it. Let's start with the one that doesn't matter at all. Cardinals-Patriots. I'll pick the Cardinals to win it 17-10. All right. Bucks-Chargers is our next game. This is a fun one. You know, I kind of looked at it at the beginning of the year. I'm like, that's super random. I can't picture the Bucks heading to LA and play. Like, that's a weird stadium for them and with their pewter pants. I don't know. But, man, this is important. This is important for the Bucks if they want to keep hold of that division. Baker Mayfield versus Justin Herbert. That's going to be a lot of fun to see. The last time these two teams played in 2020, it was a shootout in Tampa with Tom Brady on the other side of the field. I'll pick the better coach. Which is Jim Harbaugh, coming off of a tough loss. But I wouldn't be shocked if Baker and the Bucks come out here and play a nice game. But my actual prediction is Baker throws 2 interceptions, and it's going to be an ugly one. And the Chargers win this one 23-13. A 10-point win for the Chargers. All right, now it's Colts at Broncos at 425. I love this time of the season because you just see these teams so desperate and every game is so important. Like, there's just certain games where it feels like a playoff game before the actual playoffs. And this is what it is for the Colts. If they lose, kind of like with the Dolphins, kind of like with the Rams-Niners game, if you lose, your season's over, in my opinion at least. Maybe not mathematically, but your season's over. So, oh man, that's tough for Anthony Richardson heading into Denver in the cold. once again, it's like, as much as I want there to be a better fight for these wildcard spots in the AFC, I really do feel like I already thought by Christmas that all 7 seeds in the AFC were pretty much decided, which is kind of boring. I mean, it's going to make for good playoffs, but the playoff push is kind of boring. And I think it's because, the Colts need this one, but they're not as good as the Broncos. So I'm going to pick the Broncos to win this 27-14. I don't even think it'll be close. And then Steelers at Eagles, the battle of the Pennsylvania teams in Philly. Oh my gosh, what a game. It is crazy that this and the game we're about to talk about after this are in the same slot in the same week. Just 2 Titans going at it. I mean, I don't even know what to pick. This is such a coin flip game. And you know what? I haven't done one of these in a while. Let's go upset alert because I'm sure the Eagles are favored. And I'm going to go with Mike Tomlin and that defense going into Philly in a rowdy environment. Hey, maybe they're the team to hold Saquon to under 100 yards rushing. Who knows? So, man, this is going to be really close. And I'm sorry, all the Eagles fans, Mullet Daddy, whoever you want to say. I still think you're a great team, even if you lose this game, and you could totally win this game. But I'm going to go the Steelers to pull this one out 24-20. And then Bills-Lions in Detroit. Everybody wants this to be the Super Bowl. I don't blame them as a non-Chiefs fan, but as a Chiefs fan, of course, I don't want that. But, man, this is, once again, just a battle of 2 of the greatest teams this season so far. Josh Allen versus Jared Goff. Dan Campbell versus Sean McDermott. 2 defenses which have been struggling, which is going to make for hopefully a good shootout performance. And it's in Detroit, such a rowdy environment. Those 2 fan bases getting together is going to be so much fun. And this is going to be a good telltale sign of, hey, if this really is the Super Bowl matchup, we're going to have a lot to go off of tape-wise in this first one. So we'll see. I'm rooting for the Lions, of course, because I want the Chiefs to really lock up that 1 seed, which I believe they will do. If the Bills lose this game and the Chiefs win this week, maybe the Chiefs have to win 2 more, I think. But anyways, I'm going to pick the Lions. Obviously, this just feels like a coin flip anyways, but I'm rooting for the Lions so much. So I'm going to go the Lions to win this one 31-30 on a game-winning field goal by Jake Bates. And then a Sunday Night Football game, which is also a very solid matchup between 2 teams who could very well possibly meet up in the playoffs. Packers, Seahawks in Seattle. As somebody who's 23 years old, growing up in, the late 2000s, early 2010s, that was kind of like my childhood of watching football. This is a very classic matchup. Packers going to Seattle. A couple of great playoff games happened. So many great primetime performances. Aaron Rodgers versus Russell Wilson. Those offenses versus the Legion of Boom. That NFC Championship game in 2014. So this just has a great vibe to it. Hell, I'll call it my uniform matchup of the week. There you go. So, uniform matchup of the week. I forgot to say it before. Steelers, Eagles, and Bills, Lions both combine for a game of the week for sure. But this one's up there. Packers, Seahawks. I am very, very interested to see how Jordan Love plays against this secondary because the Seahawks defense has been quietly very solid lately. And they're at home. And look, I think the thing with the Packers is that they're not bad anywhere, but they're not amazing anywhere. They're just a well-rounded, good football team. So to see them in a primetime game in a rowdy environment is going to be interesting. They just did that with the Lions. They kept it close. But this is a team that's more on their level and could very well play in the playoffs. So I'm going to keep an eye out on how they play in this game for sure. And I'm going to pick the Packers to win this, even though the Seahawks are probably favored. So there you go. Maybe that's another upset alert. But yeah, I'm going to pick the Packers to win this one 27-20. And then Bears, Vikings, Monday Night Football. We actually have a double header Monday Night Football, which is kind of random. Why are you doing this in week 15 again? I don't know. And this is the game we're going to watch because the next one is horrible. Vikings host the Bears. I mean, this won't be close as well. The Vikings defense is rolling right now, and they're just a way better team than the Bears. So I'm going to pick the Vikings to win this game 31-14. And then finally, the Raiders host the Falcons. Why? Why is that on primetime? I mean, thank God this is a doubleheader, so I don't have to watch this, but just why? And also, if the Falcons don't win this game, what are you doing? Just don't even show me them for the rest of the season because that's ridiculous if you lose. But Desmond Ridder revenge game. Who knows? No, I don't. I'm just kidding. Who cares? I'll pick the Falcons to win it 24-10. There you go. Anyways, that's your Week 15 slate. easily probably the best slate of the season so far. I'm super excited. Not only, once again, shout out, we're going to the Giants-Ravens tailgate. So be on the lookout for that information as well if you guys want to meet up. So that's exciting for Week 15, but also the slate of games itself are going to be awesome. And yeah, guys, don't forget to comment down below your bold prediction as well. We'll pin you and shout you on the next episode if you think you got the best prediction. But that's it. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Follow us at First and Gold on Twitter and Instagram. I'm Sam Gold. We'll see you next episode. Goodbye.